The Daily Code Snippet. This week we will discuss the CSS for images. From previous videos we discussed that it is better to define the width and height using CSS rather than HTML attributes. Here is an example. Our HTML image element source equals assets/images/lakethomas.png. Alt equals a scenic view of a lake with trees on the far shore and seagrass in the foreground. It's sunny with a few clouds in the sky. Title: a view of Lake Thomas in the sea pines of Hilton Head, South Carolina on a sunny day. By setting the height to auto, the browser will automatically calculate the height to display the image based on how you are limiting the width. This is how the image will look. Because we have set a fixed width, if the user were to make the browser smaller, the image will get cut off. So rather than using fixed widths, we may instead want to use a percentage to make our image responsive. Our HTML remains the same. Instead, we will use a 100% for our width so that our image will scale to the full width of the containing element. In this case, we are in a section since we are using our demo page previously described, and our section is in a container that is 80% of our browser width. This is likely to be wider than our fixed width of 600 pixels. Let's take a look. So we see that it is indeed much wider as we are telling the browser to display the image at 100% of the width of the containing element. Here is the full image. What if we really want the image to display at the original fixed width size and be centered in the space? Our HTML again remains the same. In order to center the image, we must turn our image first into a block element. So we need to add a CSS rule for display and set it to block. We will set the width to 53%, which is approximately the same as our fixed width of 600 pixels. Also, we really don't need to explicitly state the height, as the default is that the browser will assume you want the displayed height to be proportional to your set width. Finally, we need to set the margin left to auto and the margin right to auto. You can either set these separately or use the shorthand. This is the result. And now, because our images are responsive, when we resize the browser, the images will scale appropriately and not be cut off. Although for the centered image, you may actually want to change the width to 100%, because as you make the browser width smaller, the centered image becomes harder to read. Today we will talk about positioning our images. We will look at an example of what we would like our layout to look like. In this screen recording, we have a web page where we have an article, and that article has a featured image at the top and two other images. The second image is to the left and has the text flowing around it, while the other image is to the right and has the text flowing around it. There is also space between the image border and the text. So how would we go about coding this? Here is our HTML. We see that we have a section. That section has an H3 article heading. There are several instances of paragraph text with placeholder text, and we have our three image elements. Note, for the purpose of our video, we are truncating some of the placeholder text in alt and title descriptions. This way we can focus your attention to the key HTML code. Because we have three images and we will be styling them differently, we added class attributes so that they can be targeted individually. Our featured image will display just after our article heading and span the full width. It is a crop of the image we used for demonstration purposes in our last video. The left image is floated to the left so that the text can wrap around it, and our right image is floated to the right so our text can wrap around it. Now we can look at the CSS. Here's the CSS for our featured image. We target that image by having a selector that says period featured because it is a class attribute. And we set the width to 100%. This is fairly simple. We want the image to span the full width, and the default is for the height to be auto and display proportionally. Here's the CSS for the image to the left. We target period left. We want the image to span only about 1/3 of the full width of the containing element. By floating the image to the left, it remains in normal flow and the text will move around it. In order to not have the text right at the edges of the image, we add some margin to the relevant sides so that the text wraps around with some space in between. Here's the CSS for the image to the right. We target period right. Again, the image will only span about 1/3 of the full width of the containing element. We float this image as well, but to the right instead. We also add margin to the relevant sides so there is a little space between the image and the text. Now that we have seen the code, let's look again at how this would display on our page. The vertical align property with regards to images can be used to position an image in relation to a line of text. It can only be applied to elements that are inline or inline block. The vertical align property can have the following values: baseline, sub, super, text top, text bottom, top, middle, and bottom. Baseline will align the baseline of an element with the baseline of its parent element. Sub will align the baseline of an element with the subscript baseline of its parent element. Super will align the baseline of an element with the super baseline of its parent element. Text top will align the top of an element with the top of the parent element's typeface. Text bottom will align the bottom of an element with the bottom of the parent element's typeface. Top will align the top of an element with the top of the entire line. Middle will align the middle of an element with the baseline plus half the x height of the parent element's typeface. Bottom will align the bottom of an element with the bottom of the entire line. This is the HTML for an example showing how the vertical align property affects the positioning of an icon against a line of text. Here is the CSS. First, we look at the CSS that applies to all the icons, and then we will look at the CSS of different vertical align values. Now we will look at how this will display. In the first set of examples, we will look at baseline, sub, and super. In the next set, we look at text top and text bottom. In the final set, we look at top, middle, and bottom. The vertical align property also supports the specification of a length in pixels, ems, or percentages. This will align the baseline of an element to a given length above or below the baseline of its parent element, since negative values are supported, with percentage being that of the line height. This is the HTML for an example with various lengths for the vertical align property. Here is the CSS. This is how it would display. The top item is using percentage. The second item is using ems. The third item is using negative ems. And the last item is using pixels. We just learned how to position an image in relation to a line of text. How would we instead place text on top of an image? Here are the scenarios that we will go over. We have our sample image. We would like to place a label for that image in different positions on the image. Top left, bottom left, centered, top right, and bottom right. In our page, we have placed these options in different sections. In each section, we have an H3 heading element, an image element, and a div element with our label. Let's look at the HTML first. The div of the first section has a class attribute with the value of text top left. We see that in each section, the value of the class attribute changes. This is so we can target each label with a unique CSS to position the label in a different place with each option. Now we can look at the CSS. We see that we have relatively positioned our section element. Our image has a width of 100% and a height of auto. It will be responsive. The image will always be the full width of the containing element. Now we will look at the CSS for each of our labels. Certain CSS rules remain unchanged from option to option. Number 1, that our div will be absolutely positioned. Number 2, that our font weight is increased to bold to help the text be more legible over an image. In the case of a text toward the top of the image, we have given it a black color, but towards the center and bottom of the image, we have given it a white color. What changes is how we further offset the label div from the top, right, bottom, and left edges, depending on the position of our label. So for label divs closer to the top of the image, we adjust the top offset property. And for the label divs closer to the bottom of the image, we adjust the bottom offset property. And we do the same for the left and right side of the image. Now, the reason we add more distance for the top labels than the bottom labels is because we have added space towards the top for the H3 heading element. Remember, our offset is based on the section element, and the reason we add more distance for the top offset for the top left than for the top right is because our first section has added padding to add some distance between the first section and the navigation. To center text over an image, we offset the text 50% from the top and from the left. The reason we add another CSS rule, transform, translate, parentheses, minus 50%, comma, minus 50%, close parentheses, semicolon, is because when we move the text element, we are not moving the element from its center, but its upper left corner. So in order to truly center it, we use the transform property to translate its position further 50% of the object's width and height. Note, this is centering the text over the section div. To truly center it over the image, we may want to add additional distance from the top to account for the H3 heading element. Why do we need to make the section element relatively positioned? When we make the div with our label absolutely positioned, it will do this in relation to the nearest positioned div. If our section element is static, it will instead absolutely position relative to the body element. You can see the result of this in this image. So remember, when using this method, you need to make sure your containing or parent element is relatively positioned. Presented by Designers Learn Code.